This is Amy Castronova, President of Novatek Communications, a technical communications company that specializes in helping manufacturers and medical device companies launch new products and meet compliance. Novatek has been in business since 1989, and since then we've developed a reputation for helping medical device and manufacturing companies successfully launch new products by ensuring their sales, service, and customers have the information they need to sell, fix, and use their devices. So we essentially teach people how to use medical devices. We do that by creating technical documentation as well as training programs. Through documentation and training, we transfer information from the technical experts to the end users. So in essence, we are the translators. I have some examples of the technical documentation that we produce, everything from user guides to operator manuals, instructions for use, manuals for the service folks, troubleshooting guides, reference guides, as well as very short and easy quick start guides and online help. While documentation is helpful for meeting our labeling requirements and referencing specific procedures, training is really what improves performance. We create training with clear performance objectives, as well as hands-on virtual exercises and quizzes and possibly certifications to ensure they've actually retained the information and performed the job. We do a lot of online training in the form of e-learning. This includes instruction as well as all kinds of elements for interactivity. In all of these delivery methods, we incorporate quizzes, tests, and certifications to ensure that we truly are improving performance. And information is not any good if it's not delivered to the audience in a format that's easily accessible to them. So no matter what we create with documentation or training, we do deploy that content into various platforms. This allows you to deliver the documentation or training, within your company or also nationally and globally we have as well. So companies hire Novatek because missing a launch date means being late to market and potentially losing market share. Also because compliance requires your I's to be dotted and your T's to be crossed, especially in quality control. We know that departments are often spread thin, and in many companies, people take on multiple roles. And so companies hire us because they just don't have the resources to do the documentation and training correctly. And lastly, companies hire us because they can't grow their sales without more talent. So to ensure that the sales folks and new hires can perform their job, training is required. The results, specifically for users gain more confidence in the equipment, they're more accurate in using it, and they are more productive, which is ultimately what the device companies want to ensure, that their clients are satisfied with their purchase and continue to use them for many years. On the service side, speed is everything. When service technicians can quickly troubleshoot and fix the equipment, it reduces production downtime, it increases reliability of the device, as well as increases productivity for the service technicians. And for the sales reps, when they're trained properly, they close sales faster, they book installations quicker, and all of that really helps your company grow. We believe by focusing on active knowledge that we are giving specific groups the right information in the right format at the right time so that they can achieve superior performance, which can be a competitive advantage to your company. We have a 3-phase process, starting with the capture phase. I won't go into detail here, but you can see we do a lot of assessment up front to make sure that we are capturing the relevant information for each of your audiences. Here's an example of our project plan. At the end of the capture phase, we create a thorough content outline and solid recommendations and compile them all into a project plan, which serves as the roadmap for developing the training and documentation going forward. Then we move into the create phase where we are actually developing the documentation and training. I'm going to show you an example here of a training program that we created for one of our clients. As Bill states here, they were really looking for something that was going to engage their customers in a new way and provide them with immediate feedback. So we came up with an e-learning solution that also differentiated them from their competition. Here are some screenshots of the solution that we came up with. It was an e-learning platform that actually translated into 17 different languages, so it is something that could be used around the world for all of their customers. The individual who narrated this e-learning program is actually somebody on their team, so this was very familiar to their customers. And we did a lot of interactivity, even though this was online, to really mimic what would be happening in the live training. So you can see in the last screenshot at the bottom here, some of the simulated environment we created with the equipment. It allowed the user to actually move around with their mouse and get further instruction. Our last phase is the deploy phase. Delivering the training, as I mentioned earlier, in different platforms is probably something that many of you are familiar with, but I wanted to give you an example of something that we've done that is a little unique. So what I want to show you here is a different form of delivery that we customized specifically for this client using a format that the field technicians were already using day to day. Typically, they would log into a dashboard and see all the statistics about the department's goals as well as their deployments and their schedules for the day and for the week. So what we did was build a dashboard that actually incorporated that information that they were already looking at, as well as build tabs for their own reference and learning purposes. So what we did was incorporated a lot of documents and training materials that already existed, as well as created some additional ones that could be most useful. So two of the ones that we created is first the decision tree that we used as a form of a troubleshooting guide. The field service engineer would select yes or no to various questions, and it would help them narrow down the root cause of the problem. This would save a lot of time when they were actually at the customer site. The other one that you can see here on the screen is a 3D animation of the device. In fact, this area was a mirror that was broken from turning the knob the wrong way. So what we did here was simulate the device, and although the field service engineer had to use their mouse, they could practice electronically and go through some particularly problematic areas before they did that at the customer site. So that's a very unique form of delivery, but it does highlight, the customization that Novatek provides. And as noted here by another client, our team is very flexible. We create these customized solutions for every client, which is different in every scenario. But then we also use our industry expertise to bring fresh ideas as well as maintain compliance.